I have this Uncle Rick, right? And Uncle Rick was a big surfer. And on top of being a surfer, he was also agnostic. And one day, Uncle Rick became a strict Catholic. And we were like, why is Uncle Rick, this surfer who's super free and whatever, he just became a strict Catholic? And we were like, we don't really talk about it in the family. So, years later, I found out Uncle Rick was also super into astral projecting. And so he would astral project. That's when you get into like a certain level of meditation, when your soul leaves your body and you go into other dimensions, right? And it's very dangerous because think of the movie Insidious, or Poltergeist. You can always bring something back. And one day, Rick, after a meditation, came back, and something felt kind of off, kind of wrong. And he was walking down the street, and he saw a pile of heads on the sidewalk, and started freaking out.
Like shrunken heads, or like
like decapitated heads on the sidewalk.
Whoa.
And so and all these other weird things started happening. Like while he was surfing, he was like seeing people under the water, and he realized that he actually brought something back. And so went to tried all these different things, and went to the Catholic Church to get an exorcism. And they said, once you have this exorcism, you have to like follow the religion. You have to be strict Catholic, or else the demons will come back. So the name is actually inspired from Uncle Rick's story, Surf Curse.
Wow. Hey, we're Surf Curse. My name is Henry.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Noah.
We're Surf Curse.
We're Surf Curse.
We're Surf Curse.
Sorry, Bobby.
That's Henry.
Life's not always kind. You better get used to it.
Self-portrait.
Self-portrait. Oh, shoot.
Portrait.
Well, that's a song about, everybody loves a little internal reflection, self-examination. But too much can be a bad thing. So.
Absolutely.
There we go.
well, this record we call like our little collage of rock and roll. So it's like every song has a different flavor. Something's kind of like early 90s rock and roll, like a Weezer kind of vibe, or another one is like a Clash kind of vibe. So that's sort of us like painting different pictures, but with just the same color palette. We always wanted to sound like a unified album at the end of the day, but it's no fun when all the songs sound the same. That's actually used to be one of our biggest critiques, is that every song sounded the same, and I kind of agree with them for a while. But this album we definitely branched out a little bit.
Well, for this one, me and Nick, we would bring songs together, and sometimes we'd work together, and then sometimes we'd bring it and show it, and then we'd all work on like a lot of it together, and would manifest something real great.
I feel like usually it's just like a guitar riff, mostly.
And we just go off of that.
I joined a cult.
Yeah, Noah joined a cult.
I joined a cult.
I joined a
New
cult
Mexico,
too.
And I joined a cult. And I lived out there for 9 months, and then I had to escape the cult. And you also joined a cult.
Yeah, I joined a cult in a way, and lost my mind, literally.
I was perfectly fine.
Yeah, Henry had a pretty chill pan. I like to think about things as pre-pan, pan, and post-pan.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Peter Pan.
Oh, I think they're all
Sure, yeah.
they're all strict pan babies.
Well,
yeah.
you know what you want with a pan. You want it well seasoned too.
You wanna heat your pan before you put the oil in,
Yeah.
and then you want to heat the oil before you put anything in the oil.
Yeah. Or you want it petered.
Making a movie.
Oh, video. You're in the motion pictures now.
Yeah.
because for me at least during the pandemic, I couldn't write anything because I wasn't living. If you're not living, how are you experiencing anything? You know, how are you creating? It wasn't until like when things started like opening up again, or we were able to like hang out in our groups and everything, where we were like, okay, I'm seeing these people that I love and care about. Now I'm like venturing out, and then it starts kicking in again. So it was like a little bit afterwards for me at least.
I feel like
you know,
that's technically still the COVID-19 pandemic.
well, it wasn't like shut in. You know, like being like I always think of like 2020 as like being shut in and like not being able to like go out and hang with your
Yeah,
friends.
sure.
It was a lot of sitting around.
I
you
feel
know.
like 2020 was like the shutdown was the era of refinement and finding your gods, and then the post-pandemic is taking away the things that maybe
I think finding
you
your gods and killing your gods.
and killing your gods and leaving the cult.
I thought we weren't
Dude.
supposed to say the G word.
Oh yeah, we didn't.
well, finding like I think there was it was like a lot of kill your idols.
This is Buzz TV. We're keeping it.
I think the best thing about the
God-free.
pandemic was it was like the realization that like because everyone was grounded, no one really cared about like what huge celebrities had to say. You
I
know,
don't think that's
like,
true. at
no,
all,
I
dude.
do.
That's
I do.
Remember the big Imagine thing?
because look who
Right.
no one cares about Drake as much anymore. No one cares about Kanye West as much anymore because they're like, how do we relate to this? How do we relate to this
You
anymore?
still care about Kanye West and talk about him constantly. What do you mean?
Because he's crazy.
We never had like a trauma like this before. No human has ever experienced a global trauma that every person has gone through. So we've all sort of like faced death in a way that, you know, maybe someone after like World War II has faced death in a similar way, but on a collective global scale. So like, yeah, of course, I think everything is changed, and no one's really figured out what that is yet. You know, I'm sure there will be, just like after World War II, there was so much like great art and ideas flowing about, you know, politics and humans and the way that we walk this earth. The same thing is happening post-pan, you know, in a very interesting way. Like, I feel like just in the last few years, everything feels like Blade Runner or something. Like, I feel like I'm living in a completely different society, you know, than pre-pan. I think it like all entertainment has been turned into escapism, but we definitely had like some subversive notes of like maybe not social commentary, but like human commentary on abstract emotions that are hard to put a thumb on or explain. You know, if you put it in a song with different intentions or different colors on top of it, then you have a critique of like what it's like to be a human and what it's like to have these emotions.
I've been talking to myself, but I don't know what to say. Guess I never had the chance to get the words right anyway.
It's way more like chaos, I think. I like
It's
I
like a
to
Coke
think.
and Mentos sort of thing. You know?
Yeah.
Like you drop the Mentos in the Coke bottle and it's contained for a little bit, but they're, you know, if you open up that cap a little bit, it might just explode everywhere, you know, so
Totally.
who knows?
I feel like the crowd is like the most chaotic. Like,
They're the
that's where
Mentos.
that's the
We're the
yeah,
Coke.
we're the
Yeah.
Coke.
They're the Mentos.
And we're already kind of like a sweet treat or something, you know. But then you put like a bunch of like young kids who like to bash each other's heads in a room together, and that is the Mentos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, baby! So many shows.
I'm writing a self-help book.
Yeah, yeah. We should write a book on like. Well, once we learned how to take care of ourselves on the road, then we should write the book.
Yeah, write the
Yeah.
book.
But right now,
How
we're
to
just
tour for
figuring it out.
dummies.
Yeah, how to tour.
I got an
with
in.
back
I got
pain.
an in for the dummy like
Oh,
series.
you know a
too.
dummy guy?
Yeah, I got a
The
dummy
cult-
guy.
Some guy in the cult.
And not in the
was
cult, no,
writing
no,
the
no.
dummy books.
But I know somebody who wrote
Well,
a
I
dummy book.
have a in for chicken noodle soup of the soul.
Oh wow, really?
Or soup of the soul. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, chicken
Those are
noodles
the
are
good
for the soul-
bathroom
for the soul.
reads.
Yeah.
Everyone in the early aughts.
Yeah, we have a lot of
2000s.
tour.
That was on
A lot of tour coming up. A lot of shows. Europe, States, Mexico, Canada, and
Basically,
Yeah.
September 15th to December 15th, we're going to be playing shows.
Yeah, it's gonna be intense.
3. This record
This
is
record,
This
well, the
record
reason why
is so
it's so
special
good,
to
and I
everyone.
think that you should
It's-
probably listen to it.
if you
Jacob,
got the
and
money,
Nick,
I mean,
and
you should buy
I
buy
feel,
two.
Really happy.
You
buy
know,
two
they put a
records
lot of
'cause,
work into
you
it.
know, we don't really know if
It's
anyone's gonna
I
buy
don't
it in
know
the
if
first
it's even
place,
gonna
and
sell at all, but
it really sells itself.
Yeah, it should
It
probably
does.
I
sell
mean,
itself.
like
yeah.
you just
Yeah,
you
real
just
good.
you got
Yeah.
Spotify. Everybody's got
Yeah.
Spotify
Yeah,
these
you
days.
can
It's on
listen to
YouTube for
Tidal
free.
too, you know,
you
and
might
it
be
pays
some
artists
ads,
better
but
than
once you give it a
Spotify,
few,
so, you
once you
know.
give it a
For
taste,
the first couple
you're gonna
songs.
want more.
Hi,
we're Surf Curse, and you've just been buzzed.